We spend so much of our life trying to label things. Like we label things as good, as bad. We say things like, I can't believe that happened to me, or I'm so lucky that this happened to me. But imagine if you actually thought about it and you realize that you don't actually know how anything's going to pan out. You just know what it's like in the moment. And I'm not saying you shouldn't live in the moment and think to yourself like this is amazing or this is bad. But once you've done that initial thinking and you've enjoyed the moment, or you've let your sadness unfold or your grief unfold, whatever it is, you then want to think, well, realistically, I don't know how this is going to pan out. So this episode, I want to talk about the uncertainty and how unhelpful labeling actually is. And the story that comes to mind when I think about this is the Chinese farmer. So it's an old parable from years and years ago. I don't know if it has an originator who said it. If it does and you know it, then please let me know. I don't know it. So I'm going to tell you the story in case you haven't heard the story before. So basically there's this farmer and he has a lovely horse, and one morning he gets up and the horse has disappeared, it's run away. So his neighbours come along to his house and they notice that his horse is gone, and they say to him, oh, that's a shame, you've lost your horse there. And the Chinese farmer says, maybe. Then the next day the horse comes back and he's actually followed by like 10 wild horses as well, and he leads them into the paddock, into the field. The neighbors come along and they say to him, oh, isn't that amazing? This is wonderful. Like you just gained 10 horses. And again, the Chinese farmer says, maybe. Then the next day, the Chinese farmer's son is in and he's trying to tame these 10 horses, and he's working on this real difficult horse. And he's actually on the back of it and he's getting somewhere with it. And then eventually the horse bucks and kicks him off. The son hits the ground and breaks his leg. And the neighbors come back over to the farmer and they say to him, oh, that's a shame about your son's leg there, isn't it? And the farmer again says, maybe. Then the next day, the army come around and they are looking for young, fit, healthy people to join their army. Force joining, conscription. They're going to force them to join the army, take them away to war. And they reject the farmer's son because he's not fit, his leg's broken. And again, the neighbours come back over and they say to them, oh, what luck, that's amazing that your son doesn't have to go to war. And again, the farmer just says, maybe. So one of the things I love about this story is he's very settled in himself. So in this world of social media, likes dictate a lot of people's moods. The video that you posted only gets like 10 views. People get stressed about that. The video you post gets 100,000 views and people love it, and they just really think that life's going amazingly today. And it's back to that external force. So you're looking for external gratification, external proof that you are worthy of other people's admiration, instead of being settled in your own life and looking at things from your perspective instead. So one of the things I've wrote here is that we label things too early. Something happens and we smack a label on it straight away. Like if you think about it now, you could probably take a couple moments and think about the amount of labels you've labeled yourself. I am an anxious person. I am a stressed person. I am a good footballer. I am good at my job. Like you probably have all these labels, and then a label, to me, a label is more like a box. It puts you inside, I am this way, and that's the way I am. If you change the labeling slightly to, I am someone that gets stressed, I am someone that gets super pumped, then you're not locking in it. You are this all the time. So you're gonna all have experience times you've got dumped before, it hurts, feels terrible, and you label it as the worst thing that's ever happened to you. This is the worst thing that's ever happened. And now if you look back at that person who dumped you, you probably think, oh, thank fuck they did, because that was not working. That was not a good environment. You probably lost a job and then panic set in, like, what am I going to do about money? What am I going to do about this? What am I going to do here? You're labeling it again as a terrible thing instead of thinking of it as an opportunity. So the lesson that you want to be taken from it is to stay present, stay humble, and respond, don't react. So that's the main takeaway, I think, from that story. If you think I'm wrong or right, let me know and we can discuss it. So my take on this is, or why I really like it, is because I've been in both of these situations. I've been somewhere where something happened where I failed, like a business failed, a relationship failed, something failed, and I thought, I'm fucked here now, this is it. But it actually just opened up many other doors. I didn't realize that label was keeping me restricted in that box, and it opened up other doors. And I've had the other way as well, where I thought something was going to be life changing. An example that just popped into my head was, I used to teach a Skills of the Vagabond course, and when I taught it, I think it was the second time we taught it, or maybe the first time, it was filmed. It was going to be turned into like a DVD box set. This is showing my age there. It was going to be sold to magicians and martial artists, and it was about teaching people how to break bricks and get kicked in the bag and chopsticks off the throat, all that sort of stuff that I did in my demonstrations, in my workshops, and in my talks. And I thought that was going to be unreal, so I didn't try to video it myself. I put it off because this other company were doing it, and eventually it just fizzled out and never went anywhere. So that was something I thought was going to change my life, and came to nothing. So we've all been there. So we're all judged too soon, we label too soon, and when we do that, we end up restricting ourselves to one path. We don't want to restrict to one path unless it's the warrior's path. We want to have freedom to move around and adjust and adapt. So it's why I love grappling and wrestling. You do flow drills to practice a technique, but then you go into free flow, which means you have to be adaptive and move around. That's why I think everybody should go to a martial arts class, because it's not just what you learn in the class and how you use it in the class, it's how you use it in everyday life. So today's challenge that I would like to set for you, and would like you to do, let me know how you get on with it, is the maybe mindset drill. So for the next 48 hours, I want you to practice radical neutrality. So what that is just not immediately labeling stuff. So don't label the situation good or bad. Just choose to observe, breathe, and respond with presence. So this is reinforcing everything that we've been going over in this podcast for the last 20 episodes or 19 episodes. Can't remember what we're on now, but we're nearly at 20 if we're not already at 20. So you want to resist the urge to react emotionally to everything that happens. So you're going to take a moment, breathe, and ask yourself, like, what's actually happening in this moment. So when something happens, good or bad, don't label it, just say maybe, and then let it unfold before you attach the story to it. So this is bad, and you will get that external noise of people telling you this is bad, this is going to be bad, or this is amazing, this is going to be amazing. Don't just go with maybe, and then see how it unfolds. And then the second step is, at the end of the day, journal just one thing that surprised you. So something that looked bad at first or seemed perfect, but it actually shifted. The more you do that, the more you can actually connect with yourself in the moment when things are happening around you. So this is something that you're trying to train your nervous system to respond, not react. This is a theme that's come out multiple times on the podcast. So respond, not react. So you can start to become a man who rules his circumstances rather than letting the circumstance rule you. So you'll be rooted in presence and observation rather than reacting and like fear, anxiety, all of those sorts of things. Let me know how you get on with that. And for anyone that has missed it, I do have a PDF. You can just download it for free. It's a 7-day work through that's going to help you to just shift your mindset and realign with your actual goals and ambitions that you have. Until the next time, have a super awesome day, whatever you get up to, and I'll speak to you again soon.